How's it going, people? We actually got a lot of stuff in Save the World with today's update, so that's what we're going to be taking a look at for today's video. I actually have to get Mom's ready for her doctor appointment here in a little bit, so I'm going to run through this as quickly as possible. Before we get into it, I did want to give a huge shout out to everybody who's been using creator code A1, and just wanted to say thank you for your support. And I also wanted to give a shout out to our YouTube members. Now, before we take a look at all of the Save the World stuff, I did want to quickly go over some other things that were introduced with today's update. The Chapter 1 Season 3 OG Pass came with today's update, and this is going to have remixed versions of Power Chord, Raven, and Rex. And for those who don't know, Power Chord is Penny's sister, and here's a picture of what those three skins look like. You'll be able to get the premium rewards by either purchasing the OG Pass for 1,000 V-Bucks or by getting the Fortnite Crew subscription. As of right now, the servers aren't back up, but the OG Pass rewards have been leaked. Here's everything you get from page 1. Looks like it has a Save the World themed spray with the Taker on it. So if you'd like to get the Taker spray, be sure to level up your OG Pass. Here's everything you get from page 2. Here's everything you get from page 3. Here's all the rewards from page 4. Here's everything you get from page 5. And here's everything you get from page 6. Here's the victory umbrella you'll get if you get a victory in OG Season 3. Here's a picture showing new skins that were introduced with today's update. I'll leave a link to where I found this picture in the description if you want to go check it out. The 50v50 LTM will be returning, and it's going to be available until April 14th at 9 AM. It looks as though the Scorpion Mythic has been finished with today's update. I'm not sure if it'll be ready by the time the servers get up, but we should see it coming to Fortnite very soon. And it looks like there's also a Walking Dead collab. They added a lot of the characters and assets from the Walking Dead comics, and people should be able to use these assets in UEFN. And here's a picture of some of the assets that creators can use. Really looking forward to seeing what the community creates with these new assets. Honestly, do I even need to mention it? There's a big toe shoe, apparently, that came with today's update. Now, when it comes to Save the World, we actually got a lot of leaks in regards to future content. And most of these I'm about to show you I got from Archer. So big shout out to Archer for providing us with this information. There were 2 heroes leaked with today's update. This first one's called Flutter, and you'll get her as a reward from Survive the Horde, which will return on April 2nd. Her standard perk is called Wisp Light, and it makes Plasma Pulse kills summon a Wisp up to 8 that orbits you for 15 seconds, dealing 37 base damage on hit. And her commander perk is called Wisp Light Plus, and it says Plasma Pulse elimination summon a Wisp up to 8 that orbits you for 20 seconds, dealing 112 base damage on hit. So those are the perks that came with the new Flutter hero, and again, you'll be able to get her as a reward from Survive the Horde. And when it comes to Hotwire, his standard perk is called Overcharge, and it says while in Going Constructor, each hammer strike causes chain lightning, dealing 120 base nature damage up to 3 nearby targets. And his commander perk is also called Overcharge. And it says while in Going Constructor, each hammer strike causes chain lightning, dealing 120 base nature damage to up to 3 nearby targets. Raising your shield for 2 seconds overcharges your next swing, causing each struck enemy to chain 120 base energy damage to up to 8 nearby targets. So if you put him in your support team, it'll deal nature damage. If you use him as a commander, it can deal both nature and energy damage. We don't have a release date yet, but you should be able to get Hotwire from the event store, and that's what his new perk looks like. Speaking of the new heroes, there's a new collection book section called Horde Heroes 2025, which will have a slot for both Flutter and Hotwire. By the way, when it comes to the new heroes, you won't be able to use vouchers on them yet, but you should be able to in the future. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like these new heroes are going to have any voice lines, but it does look like the Hunt the Titan is going to have voice lines after today's update. Apparently, Major will now narrate Hunt the Titan missions, similar to how Ray does with other missions. And in Survive the Horde, Director Riggs will now give you callouts during Survive the Horde, including what type of wave it'll be. And speaking of Survive the Horde, it looks like they will reward superchargers as well as vouchers. So not only can you get superchargers from ventures and your weekly quest, you'll now be able to earn them by playing Survive the Horde. According to this tweet, it looks like Save the World's going to have the Chapter 6 movement, which includes ledge jumps, roll landing, wall kicks, and wall scramble. According to this tweet, roll landing is currently enabled in Save the World, but the other Chapter 6 movements will likely follow soon after. Jam loop emotes have also been added to Save the World with today's update, so you should be able to jam out with your friends now using jam loops. They're going to be located in the same place where you use your emotes. And there were also a few bug fixes as well. It looks like the damage pulse will no longer damage objectives. And while I was doing the edit for this video, they released the patch notes, so we're going to go ahead and quickly look at that. And I'll leave a link to the patch notes in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. First thing they went over were updates and improvements. Hunt the Titan mission revamp. The Mist Titan just got more serious. The Titanic baddie has stepped up its game, coming armed to the fight with a new Crystal Slam attack and 2 different modifiers in the final phase to shake things up. The shield modifier blocks projectiles but can be penetrated if you get close enough. The shield will drop when the Mist Titan attacks, so keep an eye out for your opportunity to strike from afar. The acid pools modifier will spawn acid pools underneath the Mist Titan as it moves around, so watch your step. On top of that, the number of tracks you have to track has been slightly altered in each phase. Next thing they said was get your jam on. Time to get groovy. We're bringing some serious jam to save the world. Put down your weapons and pick up your instruments. It's time to rock the husk away with jam loops. Whether you're shredding solos or jamming in a band with up to 3 other players, you'll be creating some killer beats while defending the home base, or whatever your current assignment may be. PSA: to prevent button mapping conflicts and bring consistency with other experiences, we've made some changes to controller binds. Pressing X on Xbox or square on PlayStation controllers no longer triggers the back to home base button, and instead brings up the jam tempo menu for the current jam. To trigger the back to home base button, you'll now need to select it first, then press A on Xbox or X on PlayStation controllers, as those buttons are already used to view mission stats or invite other players. Instead of pressing and holding X on Xbox controllers to trigger the edit loadout and mission details buttons in the lobby, you'll now be able to do so by pressing left or right analog sticks respectively. The mission start button has been assigned to Y on Xbox controllers, being in line with BR button mapping. They also made some changes to Going Constructor. They increased the movement speed bonus while the shield is up, and the damage reduction effect now persists for a brief moment after lowering the shield. Looks like we also got some bug fixes. They fixed an issue causing heavy attacks to sometimes deal no damage with certain melee weapons. They resolved the issue where the global daily bonus goal completion wouldn't count towards the Witching Wing quest pack progress. Schematics, heroes, defenders, or survivors not yet upgraded to the maximum tier 5 will now show the appropriate number of stars based on their current tier. They fixed a bug that sometimes caused the Mist Titan to become stuck in caves and unable to get out. They increased the number of searchable objects in frozen fjords and autumn foothill zones. The Loot Llama preview now accurately reflects the rewards based on the llama selected in the Llamas tab. They resolved an issue on PS4 where the chat keyboard would unexpectedly appear during the loading screen if the player received a message. And the bug affecting the hover turret cooldown UI and general use will be fixed in a future game update. So I guess that wasn't fixed with today's update, and that sums up all the news I got when it comes to Save the World. Let me know what you think about the new OG pass, the Walking Dead collab, the new skins, and let me know what you think about all the changes that were made to Save the World with today's update in the comments below. But yeah, that sums up everything we're going to go over for this one. Again, if you'd like to support the channel, be sure to use creator code A1, and big shout out to everybody who does use it. And I also wanted to say thank you to our YouTube members. Anyways, I hope you all are enjoying the new update, and I'll catch you guys later.